Hello everyone, it's Jessica here with a layout for May I Scraplift You with this gorgeous layout by Claire Louise today, which is Scrappy's Soulmate on Instagram. And I have chosen this layout because I just loved how she did the hearts and the distressed, look like she used some distressed inks or something in the background. And I just absolutely loved the way that she did this one. So my title is going to make this scrap layout kind of funny. I'm using an acrylic piece, which you'll see for the title. I'm not going to spoil the surprise. I will just let you think on what the title is going to be because it's comical and it makes me laugh. And so I have started just putting some distressed inks in my background here. I am just using, I think this one is, I think it's Pumice Stone, if I remember right. It's been a while since I've done this layout. So I'm just now getting around to editing all my videos on my phone. I think there's about 5 of them that I need to edit right now. So I need to get these cleared off and off of my phone. So it's been a little bit. But I'm using my Big Shot here with some dies that I have. These are some LA Studio dies. They're hearts and they are stitched and some are not stitched. I am using the stitched ones for my layout, and I've used the Simple Stories collection heart eyes. And I am just shimming this through my Big Shot machine because I like to use the Magic Mat for one of my cutting plates. So I just use a cardstock shim in mine just to make it a little bit tighter. So I have my distress ink down on my background. I've chosen a textured cardstock. It's a pink color. I believe it's by Basil. And then I've also cut some of these hearts out using some vellum as well to just kind of layer some of them and kind of make them just look a little bit different than the other ones. And I'm just going to layer those up. I'm going to actually stitch down the middle of those hearts that are layered with vellum so that I can kind of fold them up and pop them off my page. I'm going to pop some of the other ones up using some foam squares, and I'm just basically layering these hearts all around my layout just like Claire did in hers. I really love the way that she had hers layered up and just kind of scattered about the page in the corner, and I just think it looks so pretty. So I followed her design pretty closely. And I loved how she did hers scallops, but my scallop heart didn't really match up with the hearts that I have here, so I didn't do a scallop design on mine. I just like them plain. So this is a photo, actually 2 photos, but they're basically the same, so I just layered them, of my anniversary present from my husband last year. He got me a new 22 gun, and I just love it. It looks like, I used to play a lot of Metal Gear whenever I was growing up, and it's like a, kind of like a, I don't want to say army game, but it's just kind of like a shooter game, I guess. And there was lots of guns and things in it. I know, crazy. But I used to play that a lot, and I call this my AK-47 gun because that's the kind of guns that were in that game, and that was always my favorite one to acquire in the game. So I call it my AK-47 gun. But it's just funny. So yeah, it's just a hobby that my husband and I have. We like to shoot guns, and he likes to hunt, but I don't really hunt. I don't like to kill things. So yeah, I just like to shoot for fun. So just layering all of these cute little hearts up, adhering them down with the Nuvo adhesive glue and also some of those foam squares by Thermal Web there. And I'm just popping some of them up, like I said, and just gluing the rest of them down to my layout. So I'm just scattering them about the page so they're all pretty. I've used the mini paper pads and just scraps that I had left over from this collection. I didn't have to cut into anything new. I didn't have to cut into any of my full 12 by 12 size paper, so that was really nice to use up some of my scraps and some of the papers in the mini paper pad, which is always good and fun to use. And here I am just going to add some dimension to my layout. I'm going to add some splatters in here with, I believe this is black soot distress oxide. And then Claire had some stamping all throughout her background, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to add that to mine or not. And I thought, well, I can always add it in after I get my hearts on there and kind of see how it looks. And then I decide, yes, I do want the stamping. So I should have done this before I put my hearts down, but I really didn't mind doing it afterwards because some of these stamps kind of overlay on the hearts, which actually looks kind of cool, and I like that. So I'm kind of glad that I I did opt to wait to do my stamping until afterwards. But then sometimes I take it a little too far. Claire's was really nice because hers just kind of went with her background and blended in nicely. It was a nice added effect to hers. Mine, I took it a little bit too far, I feel like, and added a little bit too much stamping, but you know what? It's okay. I'm going to break it up right now with some white paint splatters. This is actually white gesso. That way it doesn't react with the Distress Oxide background or inks. I think I actually used a Distress ink for this one. So if I would have used the white acrylic paint, it tends to turn that color of the Distress ink that I used. So that's why I opted to use the white gesso instead. That way it would stay really white. So I'm just cleaning off my glass mat. That's why I love using this mat for anything mixed media, because you can just wipe it right off and it cleans up so nice. So here's my two photos. I'm just layering them up and I'm going to keep them together because they're basically the same exact thing. I'm adding some foam tape by Thermal Web onto the back of the one. That way I can pop the whole thing up off my page. And actually, I think I added it in between. Yep, looks like I added it in between. Sorry guys, it's been a minute since I did this layout, so it's kind of just me remembering it as I'm seeing it back here. So here is my title. As you can see now, you know why I was giggling about it, because my title is actually an acrylic piece by Colorcast Designs, and it says Hello Beautiful, which is just perfect for my new pretty beautiful gun. I'm gonna add some bling here with some sequins that I have to go with this layout. It matches this collection perfectly, so I keep it in with that collection. I'm just using my sequin tool and again some of that Nuvo glue to adhere them all down. And then I'm going to use Nuvo glue again to adhere my acrylic piece down for my title, which I kind of have a play with. I'm not sure where exactly I want it to go. I kind of liked it above my photo, but I didn't want to cover up all my hearts. And Claire's had hers down below, I believe, if I remember right. So I chose to just put it down below, but then I thought this little spot beside it looked a little bare, so I added one more heart there beside it. And you can see all the stitching now too. I forgot to mention whenever I did that. You can see the stitching down the middle of my hearts now with the vellum popping up. So I'm just going to add just a couple more things. I really don't have to add much to this layout because those hearts and the stamping and the sequence, it's already got a lot going on here, and I don't want to take away from the focal point, which is my photo and my title. So I want to keep it there. I'm just adding a couple little things to just enhance. So I just wanted to add a couple little blips onto my photo. And then I'm going to put my date stamp down here, and I thought it looked like it was lacking a little bit around my title, so I do add just a few more sequins in between where my title is laying and kind of around it as well. So that's pretty much it for this layout. It's a pretty simple layout, but it's just a little bit involved with all of the elements and the layering going on. So if you just take it step by step, then it's kind of an easy one to follow, but just takes a little bit of time to work in all of those different layers. Just gonna add a little bit of journaling. I did put that piece of vellum down so that I wasn't smudging it the whole time I was writing. And here's the finished layout. So thank you so much, Claire, for letting me scraplift you today. Thank you so much for the beautiful inspiration. I absolutely loved your original layout. It's gorgeous. So thanks again so much, and I will link the playlist below for May I Scraplift You, and you can see all the other contributors playing along. So thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.